Welcome to Tantra Lounge, Sex Talk Radio. Divine Kika is a radiant force, overflowing with positive energy, guiding you to a heart-opening, blissful, authentic tantric experience. This show will help you to expand your joy, cultivate more intimacy in your life, and rediscover the pleasure within your personal relationship. Dive in and discover untapped intimacy and true joy for yourself or with your beloved. Bring back the harmony and happiness that you long for. Let's begin an unforgettable journey that will leave an imprint on your heart and soul forever. Welcome to Tantra Lounge, Sex Talk Radio. Here's your host, Divine Kika.
Welcome to another edition of the Tantra Lounge. My name is Greg, here with the host of the show, the lovely Divine Kika. Hello, darling.
Hello.
How are you today?
I am surviving the winter.
Yeah,
I'm Brazilian. I need to be kept warm.
Come on now. We're in
Everybody's
California.
in the beach. In my family, my mom keeps saying, we're going to the beach. It's nice. And I go,
Don't you like a little bit of the, I guess this would be considered autumn type weather, 65 degrees. It's too cold for you.
It's a little bit cold, but when I'm wrapped up in the arms of somebody special, then it feels good.
That's what I'm saying. There's no better time to be cozy and cuddly with someone than this time of the year.
That's true.
And in the summertime, it's too hot, although you just take your clothes off and you enjoy it a little bit, but it's a lot different because it's hot and you get sticky. Now, it's perfect.
Fireplace, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
That sounds good.
So we have an exciting show today because later on, after I step away, we're inviting in a special guest to the studio, and a friend of yours, Lynetta Denniston, will be here, and she has a website called BelieveItCoach.com, attracting your soulmate with radical self-love, which I find very interesting, and I'm assuming that will be the theme of her part of the show.
Yeah, and actually this show is going to be devoted only for women.
It's for women.
Men can watch and learn about women, but it's mostly for women.
Now, I heard she was saying certain things to you separately, and just listening to her talk, I'm assuming it really is about looking inward and finding what makes you, satisfies you and yourself, and making it easier to be loved, I'm assuming. Is that correct, or am I off?
So she was a student of mine, and one of the things that my students get the most is like to learn to love oneself.
Mm-hmm.
And to become your own very best lover.
Right. And this is what her whole mission is.
Yes. So she teaches people to find their self-love, to take themselves in hot dates, and women to really honor and love themselves.
Do you practice this? Is this something that you find to be very important with your own practice?
I don't take myself out so much on hot dates with myself because I have real dates.
Wait a minute. But I'm sure Lynetta isn't she's not desperate for dates. She's actually married, did you say?
She makes time. Yeah, she's with her beloved. That was before her beloved when she was single. But she would take herself on a date like twice a week. And
where does one take themselves on a hot date?
She used to go to Watercourse in Palo Alto, where there's hot tubs, and she would bring flowers to herself and do this whole thing. Go to dinner by herself, and that's the whole thing.
Treat yourself to this wonderful experience.
To the degree she wanted to be treated by a beloved. Now, for me, it's more about a journey into my body. It's like, how much love can I give to my body?
Okay.
How much can I touch myself and wake up in the morning? If I wake up alone, like, can I touch my face and caress my face and say, I love you. Thank you for being here.
You do that?
I do that.
Every morning?
Well, not when we have company.
Because they might find it to be strange.
I was like, oh, wait, honey,
What's wrong with her?
Hi, I love you. Okay, now you can love me. That would be weird.
Yeah, of course, you might want to just step away from the bedroom if you do that. But you do that on your own.
I do. And I like to go to sleep holding my heart and holding my belly and like connecting to myself and my self-love.
I've learned this with you, by the way. I've learned that it's almost as important to find yourself as it is to finding your partner and finding the right partner, because if you don't love yourself and you don't know what you want, you're probably not going to be a good lover. Would you say I've learned something very good there?
That's all you need to know.
Yeah, right. I get excited when I come away with knowledge because there's so much to know. Every week there's something new I learn with you, and I found out that there's so much more to know about this, and many people struggle in their relationships because they don't know how to reignite it, how to get the flame and the desire back. And I'm finding through all these guests and yourself that it's there. You have to be willing to put the time in.
Yes.
Much like your guest last week, Adam, said, you know, sometimes there's a lot of good in certain elements of being, you know, and whether it be pornography or whatnot, self-love. But it's also important just because it will help you be a better lover and explaining to your loved one what you want from the relationship.
Yeah.
Right? Am I on target?
Yeah. I think we need to learn to really know our bodies and resensitize our bodies. Really take the time to know what we like, what we don't like. How does this touch feel here? How does it feel right here?
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, that's the core. Like, because that's self-love, and then the way you treat yourself, and the people that you choose ultimately to be in relationship with are the people that you choose to be in your life.
Yeah, and pretty much for the rest of your life, they're going to be with you. So you have to find a way to coexist and still enjoy your sexual relationship, right?
Yeah. And if you're choosing with awareness what brings you joy, which is the whole thing about Tantra,
yeah,
you're choosing wisely who is around you, how much time they spend with you, what do you do with them. And
right.
Your time with yourself needs to be wonderful, too. A lot of people are afraid to spend time alone.
I know that. I find there's a certain type of person that will always need company, whether it's friends, relationships. They can't be single. They can't be by themselves because they're never comfortable with themselves. And those people generally are always in relationships that don't work because they're just rushing into it, right?
Yeah.
So let's set up, because we have Lynetta coming in a little bit later, is there anything we should learn or know before she comes in?
I think very good.
Yeah, there's nothing of importance. I know she talks about the goddess retreats, I know. What is, by the way, a goddess retreat, so I know?
Oh, it's a retreat just for women to learn how to love themselves. And we do this mirror work, we do goddess work, and she's really good at it. And I love that she was my student, and now she grew to be a teacher.
That is, I didn't realize it until you just said that it's your student.
Yeah, it's such a sweet experience to see somebody blossom so beautifully.
Most guys are probably thinking, what goes on at these goddess retreats? I know, right? It makes a perfect setting for some very, very intense erotic film.
I know what goes on in Caroline Mirror retreats are really hot, and we're gonna have Caroline Mirror in the show eventually.
Really?
And what she does sexual healing for women to do for women.
Really?
But that's a whole, well, I can't speak for her. She will tell what she does. So I don't know what goes on in Caroline Mirror workshops, okay? I imagine, I have a story in my head.
You do.
That's what happens. And she facilitates women to awaken each other sexually and learn about our sexual power. And she does it in such a beautiful way. And Lynetta is doing something different. But she's teaching people how to love oneself. And then to really manifest the things that they want in their lives. And she does beautiful work. She's an amazing coach.
And I'm assuming this requires a lot of, I don't want to say exercise, but a commitment to learn how to do this.
Yeah, but as a woman, just show up and she will guide us. You know? I love that work she does with just women. It's just women. It's a safe place for women to go and learn.
Well, I love learning. I think we're going to learn a lot from Lynetta on this second portion of the show. And again, her website, just in case, I think it's still here, isn't it? Yes. Her website's believeitcoach.com. Attracting your soulmate with radical self-love. She's proof positive that what you do works because she took what you taught her and she's now turned it into her own practice.
Yeah.
Which I find to be absolutely remarkable. So we'll get back. We'll take a quick break. And when we come back, I will step away and we will invite Lynetta into the studio. We'll be right back on the Tantra Lounge.
Divine Kika is an international Tantra master, author, seminar leader, relationship, and sex coach. She will teach you to master your sexuality and self-awareness so you can experience fulfillment and happy relationships while living a life of love, power, and passion. Achieve the love life you have always wanted and have the best sex ever. For life-changing relationship advice and great lovemaking tips, visit divinekika.com. That's divine, Kika.com.
Tantra Lounge, Sex Talk Radio. Today I have a fantastic guest. She's a goddess of the goddess. She's going to talk to us about loving ourselves as women and how can we take ourselves to dates and make it the best ever experience. Her name is Lynetta, and I've been her friend. I was her teacher, and for over 10 years.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm grateful to say she's the most wonderful woman I know.
Wow.
You
That's
are.
gracious.
You are. You're courageous to feel your feelings, to diving deep, to find out what's truth. You live in integrity. You live a life of power and freedom. You allow yourself to go through whatever needs to change, and you allow transformation to occur in your life bravely. Like, I've never seen anybody do that. And you're brave. You speak your truth, and you go through it, and you love so deeply and so fully. And so many of us women want to be that way. So thank you for being an inspiration, because seeing you from when you were my student and you didn't know how to love yourself, and we had all those sessions, all those times, and you came to Discovery Extraordinary Bliss series with me, and I saw you unfolding, and it was like weight was lifted out of your face, like every time, like so much shifted, and then you blossomed in this beautiful being that I have in front of me right now. And I'm so grateful to be witnessing all of it.
Wow, I'm so honored. Thank you for that acknowledgement. I'm going to soak that in.
Yes, do, because I have tears of joy in my eyes of having you here.
That feels so good. Thank you. That's a really meaningful acknowledgement. Thank you.
Yeah, oops.
Especially coming from you. Don't let it mess up your makeup.
Yeah. So tell me about your journey. Tell me your journey discovering your body. Discovering that you could touch yourself. That's something that for many women is still a taboo. And I'd love to hear your experience into that.
Yes, actually, I remember the homework in class was to go home and make love to myself, and I did not want to do that.
I remember you had a lot of resistance, and most people do have a lot of resistance to do that homework.
Yeah. I didn't feel anything. It was numb, and what I discovered was there's anger that I was holding in my body, and so I couldn't feel anything. I was just stuffing my feelings and feeling very numb, so I just didn't want to go there. If it wasn't going to be a pleasurable experience, why would I want to go there? So I didn't even try. And when you gave me the assignment, I actually went home with a very dear friend of ours that helped me, kind of walked me through it and helped me get to the point where I would try it at least. So then I did, and I also looked in the mirror and connected with the person in the mirror and really let out some of the things I had been holding against myself. And I allowed my yoni to even vent and allow her to express all the suppressed feelings she had.
Okay.
And then
because we hold so much in there. We hold so much in our genitals. We hold a lot of old emotions, and that's not just for women, it's for men too, guys. Like we hold a lot of emotions or traumas in there.
Yes.
And sometimes it becomes very sensitive because of all the traumas we have. And we don't even realize how much is holding in there.
Yeah, that's true.
We all know the physical aspects of sex, but we rarely hear of the spiritual side. 10 Tantric Sex Secrets for Greater Sex, Love, and Intimacy Tonight by Divine Kika will bring you extraordinary bliss. This titillating and easy-to-read book will transform your ordinary sex life to breathtaking, amazing, powerful. Great for beginners, let this book be your first step to a happier love life. 10 Tantric Sex Secrets for Greater Sex, Love, and Intimacy Tonight. Available in hard copy, ebook, and audio format at divinekika.com. That's divine, Kika.com.
I'm real excited about your new book, 10 Tantric Sex Secrets. And it's really beautiful that you came out with this, and so I'm hoping that everybody can find it and read what she's written here and take a great start to your own tantric journey and take a look at this sweet book. It's a great little pamphlet. It's easy to read, and Kika's just wonderful.
And I was surprised, but she actually has a voice of her own. And she knows what she wants, and she told me what she likes, what she doesn't like, and what she wanted was to be pampered and be taken on hot dates.
All right, so tell me about it. So I know last year you went on a lot of hot dates with yourself.
I did.
Right.
I did. And what I do would go to Watercourse Way in Palo Alto, and I would rent the room for private hot tub, cold plunge, sauna, and rent it for myself, by myself for an hour, and bring beautiful treats that I love, and candles, and flowers. I would bring my own pillow. I even had a mirror in the room so I could look in the mirror and really connect with myself. And I would look at myself and speak to myself in the way a lover would speak, or how I would want a lover to speak to me. So it was like having two of me there. I had the masculine and the feminine within me that were both interacting with me. So it felt very much like I was with my beloved. And I was feeling so connected. And I really got looking in the mirror that I am the woman I've always wanted. Like all these women I have admired and adored and put on pedestals, that I was actually all of those things in all of those women I saw. And I really got, by looking in the mirror, that I was the amazing woman, beautiful, gorgeous, the way I dress, my hair, my eyes, like everything about me I was falling in love with. And I looked around the room. It's a very luxurious room to be in. It felt like I was spending $100 on myself, and it's not that much. It feels luxurious. And I was so appreciating and adoring myself for spending that time and that, connection with myself and giving myself everything I'd ever wanted from a lover, doing that for myself. And I began to blossom. Like, I didn't think I was that beautiful. I thought I was getting old. I was losing my looks. And when I was in the mirror, I found that I was really changing the way I looked even. And men started noticing me and wanting to take me on dates where they hadn't been before. And I was getting asked out all the time, and I'm like, you can't give me as hot of a date as I can give myself. It was like,
you're not going to be as nice to me as I would to be.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I remember you. I was like, wow, she's going. And I remember you telling me, no, this really nice guy but he's not going to be as nice to me as I will to myself. And as a woman, it's something that we really need to listen. Mm-hmm. That sometimes we allow people to treat us less well than we deserve. Yeah. And that's when we start to not eating well. That's when we start to not working out as much or not devoting ourselves to the things that we really love that empowers us. Yeah. And you did such a beautiful work loving yourself. Like, it took so much from you because you come from a background of very religious repression. Yeah. As I heard before, right? Yeah. And that was like a sin to even think about touching your body.
Oh, yeah. That was another big thing was I had it so ingrained that was such a bad thing. And that made me begin to wonder, if it's so taboo, then what's the power behind it? There's got to be something behind it that must be very powerful. Once you open that up, it's like, oh, I started to get, this is so powerful. You cannot be dominated or suppressed when you're empowered by your own sensual touch. You just cannot. From then on, you're a powerful creator of your own world. And you can't go back after that. It's very powerful. Very powerful. You feel that? Like, whew.
Oh, you are more in your power than I ever seen. I'm just taking it all in, like, wow. Yeah.
There's a lot of power there. So it's a very powerful tool that you're giving women. To have them make love to themselves is huge. That is so huge. I don't know if you know the impact that it has on women when you help them to get there. But I'm so grateful that you insisted I do it.
I did insist it.
You did?
And I insist on it to everybody that I do private sessions or come to my workshops, because I know the power behind, like, when we start to love ourselves. And I say something about you can become your own very best lover. Because we long for a certain way we want to be touched. We long for a certain way we want to be loved. And there's something that only us can give to ourselves. And then when we are able to give that to ourselves to the level we want to receive, then we won't settle for less than we deserve.
No.
We won't settle for things that are not in alignment of who we are. We won't settle for abuse. We won't settle for anything that is not right.
Yeah, that's true. You become so, and you also really get to know what you love. Like, I wouldn't really know until I did those hot dates what I really want in my life and what I really want from my beloved. And I was really kind of resigned that I would not find my equal. I really gave that up. I said, I'm going to be my own best beloved. And I just gave up that relationships just were not going to work for me.
How many women and men out there are now giving up the possibility of having a healthy, loving relationship?
Yeah.
You know, I have times in my life that I thought, well, you know, now I know so much about Tantra and relationships, and if I don't want to date other teachers, it's going to be such a hard journey. And I remind myself constantly that it's possible, that love is there if I'm allowing love to come in.
Yes.
I need to be open to receive love in all its many forms, because if I block it, then I forget who I am.
Yeah.
Welcome to Tantra Lounge.
Sex Talk Radio.
Divine Kika is a radiant force, overflowing with positive energy, guiding you to a heart-opening, blissful, authentic, tantric experience. This show will help you to expand your joy, cultivate more intimacy in your life, and rediscover the pleasure within your personal relationships. A lot of people have questions out there about Tantra. I think there's a lot of misconceptions, would you say? Some misunderstandings about what it's all about?
Yeah. When I say I'm a Tantra teacher, people look at me like I wish I could show you their faces. They have these big eyes and like a little, and excitement. It's like a little bit of fear and a little bit of nervous, and they look with these big eyes and a big smile because a big part of them is really curious about what it is.
Of course.
But then there is a little bit fear. So it all means excitement.
I think so. It's a stimulating topic.
Tantra is a path like Zen or yoga that uses sexuality as a door to awareness.
That's right.
And then Tantra is also choosing with awareness what brings us joy. Now, if we're expanding that, like what is really be conscious enough, knowing oneself enough, knowing your surroundings, knowing what your deepest desires, fears, emotions, and send that into how can I bring more joy into my life? And from that joy, expand throughout all those around me.
Absolutely. I think that when it comes to Tantra and sex, it's such a hot topic. Of course, people are interested in it. Of course, they want to hear about it. They want to talk about it. But really, it's just scratching the surface of it. Although sexuality is very much embraced in Tantra, it is really not the primary focus or point.
Well, I did meet someone who actually is so mirroring back everything I did for myself in the mirror and on those hot dates. He is that man, and all in one. I thought it would take 2 or 3 men to make one man that has it all. And this man, he truly has it all. And he was reading David Deida, The Way of the Superior Man, and I was reading it at the time too and carrying that book around. I liked a lot of the qualities of what he was speaking about. You know, some things may not be, you just pick and choose what you like out of this book, but I really saw that those were some of the qualities I wanted.
It's a great book.
Yeah.
Although some of the things that I need to say it on radio, I like David Deida for some things, but I don't like how he boxed men and women and kind of like the 50s, like the men should be like this and women should be like this, and then he puts us in a box, and I think we are way beyond all those things.
Yes, yes.
But I really love The Way of the Superior Man is a book that I actually recommend for all men and women to read to understand what is a healthy masculine, because we don't have a healthy masculine in this planet so much.
Yeah.
We need more of the healthy masculine these days.
Yes.
And then there is so much of a change that needs to occur because of a patriarchal society, and it is happening.
Yeah.
Slowly.
Yes. Yes.
Slowly.
And actually, how I met him was he was telling you that you could have it all in one man.
I remember. Yeah,
And
Mark
I
was
saw
reminding
him.
me, like he was saying, you can have it all.
Yeah.
And we were cuddling.
Yeah. And I looked at him and I said, this is a man who knows. He's not just speaking from... Yeah, he knows, and he is all of it in one, and he's so my equal. Like, we have so much the same background and the way we have learned to heal ourselves.
I need to let people know how you guys met, because that was pretty magical, I think.
It was.
This is a magical story. We were laying, waiting for a workshop, and all these people were cuddling around. I'm laying with Mark, and I was like upset about something. I don't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah.
I was upset about something, and then I was laying down kind of tired, and he came, Kika, you can have it all. And he sat, and he was like, just like looking at me, holding me, and supporting me through it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he was kind of laying on my chest, and then you came, and then you laying on my chest, and then you guys look at each other.
We literally fell in love over your chest.
And that's so beautiful. I don't think there's any other magical story. This is so beautiful.
It is. It really is. It is. And I'm really so happy to co-create a life. Like, this is true partnership. Someone equal that can meet me in all levels, not just in intimacy, but also in work. In every area, we are co-creating a life together that's so beautiful. Nothing I even dreamed of. This is far beyond what I even imagined. And I had given up. So this is beautiful. This is such an amazing journey that we're having, and we're clearing so many things with each other. Every day we co-create our mornings and create our whole day, how it's going to unfold. And we're going to be starting to videotape it, so we'll be able to share it with the world.
That's fantastic. And now your work to woman has been to a different level, where you take them to really know and love themselves. And I want to ask you, what are the 3 big mistakes that women do that takes them away from their self-love? What is the mistakes that as a woman in our everyday life we do?
Well, one is believing that once I get my body weight or my shape or my clothes or my makeup right or whatever, then I will feel good about myself. And what I found is none of that really, like, even though I did all of those things and I may have had my look, or my body in the perfect shape, I still was not feeling that within myself. And once when I did the hot dates and I was with myself in the mirror, I'm really connecting with my soul, what I call soul to soul, and looking at the light in my eyes and connecting with the soul that's within me, and really falling in love with that, then my beauty became just blossoming on the outside. Even my look started changing. My hair has never been curly. I have these natural curls now. And I began to change how I looked and how I felt and my energy. And what I really want women to get is that how you appear and how you're looking on the outside can shift by doing the internal work first and connecting and loving that person in the mirror. You become beautiful on the outside when you really focus on internally loving yourself and connecting with that divine light within you.
What does that look like?
It's not much like looking is an external thing with the eyes.
No, what does that look like in my everyday life?
In your everyday life would be doing the things that you know you love doing for yourself. Things that create a day for you. Like in the morning, create your day the way you want it to be. Who do you want to be in your life for that day? Intentionally, instead of going by autopilot, which also goes into other mistakes that...
Okay, the mistake number 2.
Okay, mistake number 2 is I'll find my soulmate, and then I'll be happy.
That Prince and the White Horse.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
He's not coming until you are happy with yourself.
Yeah, and really what you can do is start talking to him like he's already in your life. Be like your soulmate is already with you right now, and have a relationship with your soulmate as though he's already here. Don't think it's outside of you. I used to tell people there's 3 steps. So first, you stop looking for your soulmate. Second step is write down all the details of what you want. Be very specific of what you want in your soulmate. And the third step is become your list. Be that.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. And then the mistake number 3 is if you think you're running the show of your life, you're mistaken.
What do you mean?
Your 5-year-old has the steering wheel of your life. By the time you're 5, 6, 7 years old, you already have all the survival mechanisms in place, and you're actually, you think the compass of your life is pointing north, but it's actually pointing towards your 5-year-old. Mm-hmm. So your 5-year-old has already developed how you're going to see the world, how you be in the world, how you are going to interact with people, and how you get what you want, and how you avoid pain. Is all set up about 5, 6, 7 years old. You already have all your mechanisms in place. So what you can do is be the own divine mother, father for your 5-year-old and help her get what she didn't get in childhood. So rewriting or reframing your whole childhood and being that divine mother, father that she never had. Give her what she's always yearned for. Only you can do that for her. Your parents will always fall short, no matter how wonderful they were.
Yeah.
They'll always fall short of the ideal.
There'll always be something that I'm figuring.
Yeah.
There's always going to be something that they didn't do right or that was not right for you, and then it's up to you to give that to yourself. Absolutely.
Yes. So you give it to her in the way that she has always wanted to hear it, and the way she wants to be held, and you just can be that for her and even hold her and look her in the eyes and then ask her to come into your heart and raise her up through all the years. And this way you bring all these fragmented pieces of you back into wholeness, into yourself. Mm-hmm. And you become a whole human being, not trying to get your needs met from others, but you're already filled, completely filling your own cup. Yeah. And down, this goes back to the childhood is really the core of all these patterns that are set up that keep coming back. If you think it's like Groundhog Day, how things keep showing up the same way, the patterns keep showing up the same way in your life over and over, it's that child needs to be addressed, the inner child work. So that's I found is very important.
Beautiful. So, okay, so now I know you have a list of 3 improvements that we want to do, but before we go through that, So what is like the most beautiful thing that you found about your self-love? Like, what is in this journey? What is just that you discover about yourself that you had no idea that was there for you?
I discovered that I so love my mother. I love my mother.
Wow.
Really love her so much. And that this strong love I have for women comes from her, my connection with her. She is a powerful woman. I admire her. I adore her. And I have had the biggest challenge I have ever found in my life is resolving the issues between me and my mother. That's been the biggest challenge, but it's also the biggest gift and blessing to me.
You got me there.
Yeah.
Wow.
I really love her. And that's why I so love women. My passion is to work with women because I think they're beautiful. I have thought women were beautiful since I was little. I looked at women and magazines and walking down in the mall and just marvel at how beautiful they are. Everything about women. Their softness, their curves, their beauty, doesn't matter, shapes, all sizes. I could see their beauty, and I know it comes from my great love for my mom.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Divine Kika is an international Tantra master, author, seminar leader, relationship and sex coach. She will teach you to master your sexuality and self-awareness so you can experience fulfillment and happy relationships while living a life of love, power and passion. She guides you achieve the love life you have always wanted and have the best sex ever. If you want to create a truly happy relationship or to manifest your perfect partner, sign up for private video coaching through Skype and start creating the life you want now at www.divinekika.com.
That we're not touching upon, but resolving the issues with your dad.
Yeah.
It's a big part of in our relationship with all men.
Yeah.
In all the relationships, like how we resolve all the things. And then for me, from coming from being abused by my dad, and that's something that I'm owning here. I was abused by my dad sexually.
Yeah.
And then I never owned it on air before.
Yeah.
And until I resolve that within myself and heal that and completely forgive him and let it go and could have a healthy relationship with him, I could never have a healthy relationship in my life with any other man.
Yeah.
Because I perceived the man as a threat then.
Mm-hmm.
And that's no longer a reality in my life.
Yeah.
Now I have the discernment, the burti, the yoga, the discernment to see, well, this relationship is healthy, this one is not, and where to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Either you stay or not, which is one of the things that we as a woman need to be really careful. Seems like this show is going to be only for women.
Yeah.
It's like we need to be really careful of how do we choose our relationships.
Yeah.
Because relationships can drag you down. Relationships can take you away from your alignment. At the same time, a relationship, being well loved, can take you up higher. Right. Or sometimes there's phases that we're not meant to be in a relationship, and we also have to honor that.
Yeah. For the longest time, I thought in a relationship that I needed to sacrifice and do what he wanted to do in his life, but forget or shelf my own interests. And really, I immersed myself in his life and lost Lynetta. And I don't do that now. No.
There is a way where we can meet with our partner, and it's something that I teach in class, and that you remember that, right?
Yeah.
Like that we go, I'm meeting you here, but I'm not losing myself in order to be with you, because it's very easy to go, and then we lose ourselves. And women tend to do that a lot in relationships. Then everything becomes about him.
Yeah.
and that's not healthy.
No, and I didn't know that there was actually somebody out there that said, I want all of you. And in his eyes, like the first time I looked in his eyes, I saw full self-acceptance for all of me. All doors opened up. There was no closed doors. And I knew that moment that this person could accept everything, even the so-called shadow aspects.
Yeah. And as a woman, we also test our men. Can we talk about that a little bit? About
Yeah.
other ways
Yeah.
women test the men in relationship
Yeah.
that are unhealthy?
Yeah,
We test their loves. We
Yeah.
push their buttons.
sure. Yeah.
Right? You wanna talk about that?
Oh, yeah.
How does that look like, Lynetta? We know it so well.
Oh yeah, I've tested them to see if they could really. I noticed the tests were around financial, to see if can this man like really meet me financially, and for us to be partners even in that area. It's easy for me to get physical and intimate with a man, but I found that they would want to withhold in this one area. And I'm like, wait a minute, I don't think that really works for me. I really want my partner to be a partner in all ways, and that means even finances would be something that we share together, that we bring our monies together, and when we're creating a life, if we're going to live together for years, I want to like really have partnership even in that area. And also in my work, I never imagined that I could have a partner that wanted to completely be equal with me in the way of working together. And we both coach really very similar, and we help a lot of women
before
together.
that, like the ways you tested men, before Mark, before your healthy relationship now.
Well, I'm thinking about my husband right now, and how I was always testing him, but
I did that
he
too, as
really
my
did.
husband.
He really did step up to the plate. He did show me he could totally take care of me and help me with my family and my son. He helped me to get my son going in school, and I found that he wasn't meeting me intimately with passion. He met all the financial parts, and helped me in that area, but I was really missing the deep connection and the passion and the touch, and being. I would work with him. We would stay up till like 3 a.m. talking about these challenges with pornography and only being
the show before that. We touch upon pornography, and I invite you to see the show before this one.
Yeah, and he would be able to be with himself and masturbate with pornography, but that affected the taking care of our intimate relationship, which didn't work for me.
Which would take away from the relationship, and it's very common.
Yeah.
It's not a uncommon present. I would say that like a lot of the men that I coach and see, they have a pornography addiction, and that takes away from the relationship. And it could be massage, it could be all kinds of stuff, but there is a way where pornography addiction takes away from the relationship so much, and men don't realize how much.
Yeah.
And it's just a lack of awareness of, I'm just doing this, I can go and make love to her later. But that energy was spilled. That energy was taken away from the relationship, from the whole.
Yeah, it felt cold. It was, I felt very disconnected. And I didn't know how to get him back,
So, ladies, if you are in a relationship and that you don't get the engagement from the man that you are with, the attention, the love. Now, let's say we need to look into abusive relationships, which is, I'm going to look into another show. But for right now, okay, relationship. Are you complaining all the time? Are you whining? Are you being in your hard masculine? Are you giving him space to get close to you, or you're always bitching and complaining about something? Oops. That will be a bit
edited.
Edited. But are you always complaining? Are you always giving love, but then your love is not received? That is that too. If we give too much love, we also need to see how much love can this person receive, because the ability, sometimes we are able to love a little more, and then we're able to give a little more, and the person cannot absorb all of that, so that we need to meet them where they're at.
Right.
That's all of those dynamics happening in relationship that we as a woman, we need to be aware of. And not just go around complaining, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that, or he's not there for me.
Yeah.
And the way we treat, so if he's yelling at you, how are you treating him? Are you talking to him in a calm tone of voice at all times? Or there's times that you're saying something calmly, but you're actually you're actually slapping him with your calm words. So what are we putting out? Are we putting out a centered, self-love woman, aware, independent, that she knows what she wants? And she's giving her love? Or are we putting out somebody that is whining and complaining and that vibe that is never enough all the time? And I think that's one of the biggest mistakes I have done in my relationships in the past, is that I made my men feel like they're not good enough. And because I'm a tantrika, I'm such a powerful woman. It's like I want a man that can meet me there, but they already feel threatened by that.
Yeah.
So as a woman, we are so much in our power in so many different ways. So how can we meet our partner where they are at? This is very important. So I would like to hear what you have to say about this thing.
Well, I've found that actually just being that beloved for myself and then attracting a partner who's, it doesn't work. I don't believe, in my own experience, that getting with somebody and thinking you can help them improve and get to where you are, I don't believe that works.
No.
I believe it really is about an inside job. You do it. You be that man and woman for yourself that you want to attract, and it will come to you. And if not, don't settle for less. Don't say that.
Get out of what's not working.
Yeah, if it's not working, then get out. Don't think that this is good enough, or I'll be alone. If
alone is better than in an abusive relationship or in a relationship that is draining or is not working.
It can be. I mean, some women are staying in relationships because they are terrified to be alone. They don't want to be alone with themselves.
They're not financially independent enough.
And
then they put up with there is still a lot of abusive relationships going on.
Yes.
In both ways, where men are abused as well.
Yes, definitely.
Hi, I'm Divine Kika. I'm here to invite you to my new radio show, this and every Saturday at midnight, to inspire you to create loving, happy, fulfilling relationships in your life and have the best sex ever. I'll teach you tantric sex secrets never known before, to spice your life and to give you greater joy. Join me this and every Saturday at midnight. Divine Kika Tantra Lounge, Sex Talk Radio. For more information, go to divinekika.com.
And neither one needs to live like that. But if you have a partner who's willing to work through these things, that's a partner we're staying with. If he's willing to do as much work as you are, that is a very valuable relationship. You can work through things with somebody who's willing.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
But they need to be willing.
Yes, absolutely.
They need to be willing to look at their shadows and admit their faults and sometimes say, I'm sorry.
And to see changes. Really to see them making changes, and that you're making changes, and ownership, both partners taking 100% responsibility for what's going on. 100%, not half, not 50-50.
Not blame and shame your partner.
No.
But actually being there together, looking at the situation. One of the things that I learned with my French boyfriend that was so beautiful, that was that we would look at the problem together, because I was so used to have this independent life and be by myself. And he would say, hey, you're looking at the problem all by yourself. Let's look at this problem alone together. This is not just you that have it. We are together, and we are looking at it together. And that's a beautiful thing, too, a beautiful way to be in relationship.
That's partnership.
That's a real partnership.
Yeah.
That's a real partnership. But if there is a problem, we're looking at it together. Not separating because of the problem.
Yes.
That's very hard to have.
Well, I always say hard is a choice.
Well, in reality, we say, you know, like there's a lot of women out there saying that the market is really bad. It's real. There's a lot of women that are emerging more aware, but there's a lot of beautiful men. So what I would say to this woman is like, what energy are you putting out?
Yeah.
Right?
Who are you being?
Who are you being is what you're attracting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell me more about the heart. I'm sorry, I went off on a sport.
On the what?
On a crazy mode.
Yes. So you want to hear about what? The improvements?
Yeah, the improvements.
Okay. So 3 improvements I would say is soul gaze in the mirror and say what you really deeply desire from your lover and give that gift to yourself. And even if you don't feel it at first, I generate it. Like, do you know what I'm saying when I say you bring it from within yourself? Even if it's not something, you know, they say fake it till you make it. But I really believe that if you say the things that you really want from a lover, those are the things that once you really believe them for yourself, then you're going to have a big shift within yourself. And so the soul gazing is about creating for yourself and generating for yourself, come from nothing. Even if you've never had it before in your life, you can create it from within yourself. And once you have truly convinced the person in the mirror, blam, you've got it. Like, you could create anything. You can actually manifest anything once you convince the person in the mirror. That's a big one.
And that's for anything.
Anything. You can manifest a home, you can manifest cars, you can manifest men, anything by really looking in the mirror and saying, I'm going to feel that energy within me right now, and I'm going to be it and own it. And when you feel it in your body, all the way down into your toes, you'll manifest it like that. No problem. Whatever it is. It's true.
That's $25,000 that we worked on last week, and then like the next week it's appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah,
because the work we did together. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
like from a place I never imagined it would come from.
Right. The last resort.
The last place.
And attracting your soulmate. Be your own soulmate and take yourself on hot dates and pretend he's here with you right now. And 3 is hit the reset button. Hit the reset button on this autopilot and really become intentional and creating the childhood that you really wanted. Rewrite it, reframe it. Be your own divine mother and father and give your child what she always wanted, and bring passion to it. Bring a lot of love and playfulness. Give your little girl a lot of time, like, give her 10 minutes at least every day, and then increase it over time. And the more time you spend with your little one, you'll see some big shifts in your life.
Beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing so much, and so much wisdom. Is so beautiful to see you blossoming. I'm so happy to see your joy and to be part of your life.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very grateful. Thank you for all the internal work you've been doing. It's being powerful. So I know you have 3 gifts for us.
3 gifts to give away. Yes. So one is to be your guide on a hot date with yourself, and
I want it.
Yeah. Take you on a hot date and have it custom made the way you really would like. Wow, if a date took me on this, I would be like so wooed, and we'll customize it and show you how to really take care of yourself.
So okay, so this is how long with you? Like a few hours?
Oh, we'll spend like 3 or 4 hours. Yeah.
So they how do they contact you?
So go on my website, believeitcoach.com, and there's a page right there where you fill out the information, and I will respond to you through.
Say that you heard on the Tantra Lounge.
On Tantra Lounge, yes.
Okay.
Yes, definitely. And also an hour radical self-love coaching. One-on-one, we can do that on phone or in person. We can arrange that.
Okay.
And then there's a goddess retreat that we're putting on in February the 27th through March the 1st here at Camp Double Bear in Santa Cruz Mountains. And you can help participate in co-creating this goddess retreat. If you're interested in doing this work for women, it'll be a chance to be trained in how to create a whole goddess retreat.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So we're going to have your link showing up right now.
Oh, great.
With your
great.
website.
Okay, good.
And for those of you that are just listening, it's believeitcoach.com.
Yes.
And Lynetta and her beautiful light, thank you so much for sharing so much wisdom and love with us.
Thank you,
It was a
Kika.
beautiful show. Tantra Lounge, Sex Talk Radio.